Hello everyone, Ron here from RJJ's Reactions, and I am back with Ren. It took me a little while because I was having all kinds of software problems, audio problems, etc. Hopefully we've solved most of them, but there are probably going to be glitches here and there, so I do apologize for that. This should be a clearer video for Ren, and the song is Do You Believe? So let's have a listen. I'll put a link below, like I always do, to Ren's GoFundMe page. Seems like his treatment's going well in Canada. He's been posting quite a bit on Instagram, and he's looking good. So that's great, and a link to his channel as well, because he likes everyone to promote his videos. I appreciate that from him, and they don't get blocked. Yay! So that makes life easier for me too, and all the other reactors as well. Okay, let's have a listen. All right, Ren, do you believe?
Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind. Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind.
Dear future self, I hope you're in good health. I'm writing cause I'm frightened, I've been fighting with myself. I wake up in the morning, rain is pouring, but I don't mean outside, I mean a storm is roaring in the corners deep in my mind, and I'm going
to stop just for a second. I'm not sure who that was at the very beginning of the song. It obviously wasn't Ren, so I'll have to see if I can find out who that was. And then Ren comes in, of course, and I like the visual here, just with the, it's supposed to be rain, of course, pouring down over Ren's face, and the first voice, it was modulated or something, somehow it's manipulated, but like to sound, I think to sound watery or liquid, maybe. I'm not sure. And of course we love Ren's voice, yeah. So let's back it up a little bit and then we'll keep going.
Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind.
Dear future self, I hope you're in good health. I'm writing cause I'm frightened, I've been fighting with myself. I wake up in the morning, rain is pouring, but I don't mean outside, I mean a storm is roaring in the corners deep in my mind. And I've been phoning my friends for advice to break the ice. How are you? Yeah, I'm nice. Actually, I'm fucking sore inside. I'm borderline suicide, but I'm really trying to try and shine in this dark life of mine. The film Life of Brian, I watched it 50 times, because I'm always searching for the brighter side of life. And maybe one day those thoughts will pay off, but till then, my future self, I'm feeling lost.
Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my.
I like that voice, but it's strange. At first I thought I was having audio problems again. I thought, oh no, not again. And it sounds a little bit like Dolly Parton in a way. I don't like to compare singers too much, but there is something there. But yeah, there's something different about that, isn't there? Okay, let me back it up a little.
Morning, I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind. Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind.
Dear future self, why am I unwell? Will I ever find a way to climb right out this hell? Will I ever find a way to leave my demons? Find the breath to keep me breathing, find the hope to keep believing, find a way out, Cause something funny happens when you're always sick. When you wake up every day praying that they might be it. That you might turn a corner into life or into death. Cause you hate that state of limbo, cause you hate that state of stress. And many lessons I have learned being burned by the fires of depression as they scorch up my earth. I have learned that I'm stronger than I ever thought I was. Cause I'm still here and breathing, my heart's beating blood, but I'm a paradox, I feel so alone, yet I isolate myself. It's no one's fault but my own. Heart is broken cause of the friends that I've had who have died. Heart is broken cause I've been sick for a third of my life. Heart is broken cause we live on a planet that values money more than lives, and we're damaging that planet that we need to survive. My broken heart, it breaks every time I feel the brakes on my brain when it aches. Bringing the breezes back to faith, feeding my demons while they wait. Ask my angels why forsake, have faith. Take away this pain in my brain and bring the rain on my soul. Future self, could you pull me out this hole?
Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind. you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind.
Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind. Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, that's the last thing on my mind.
I'm going to stop it there in case the ads start popping up. But yeah, another beautiful song by Ren, and the lyrics are amazing. I'm going to talk about the lyrics separately, so I didn't want to stop and talk about the lyrics throughout the video. Try to let it play as much as possible, particularly since Ren allows that to happen. Yeah, and I kind of like the image there too, as I say, with the rain or tears or however you want to interpret that coming down over the face. That's a really powerful image too. Um, yeah, the lyrics didn't get to me for a while, but yeah, they seeped in near the end, so I'm gonna have to get control here, and then we'll talk about the lyrics separately in just a second. Okay, let's have a look at the lyrics now. Do you believe it? I looked it up, and it looks like Melanie Safka was the person, the lady singing at the beginning, and then intermittently throughout the song as well. So I don't know who that is, but there we go. Do you believe? Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind. Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind. Um, we don't know the meaning of that until we get further into the song, although you could guess with Run what that means from other songs that we've had. Dear future self, I hope you're in good health. I'm writing because I'm frightened. I've been fighting with, and I've managed to cover that up. I'm fighting with myself. I wake up in the morning, rain is pouring, but I don't mean outside. I mean a storm is roaring in the corners of my mind. Yeah, so he's struggling here again within his mind. And I've been phoning my friends for advice. How are you? Yeah, I'm nice. Actually, I'm sore inside. I'm borderline suicide. So, again, struggling with those thoughts and emotions, trying to find some relief, calling his friends. But I don't know whether he's actually telling his friends that he's sore inside and borderline suicide or not. Sometimes you don't want to talk about that. First of all, you don't want to depress other people. You also don't want to be seen as a victim. So, but he's trying to get some relief. So I'm really trying to try and shine in this dark life of mine. Yeah, trying to try. You feel like you're trying harder and harder and harder and slipping further and further back. So that's the trying to try. Um, the film Life of Brian, I watched it 50 times. So yeah, sometimes you find something that you hope will relieve you, some comedy or some other TV show, movie, whatever that might help to relieve that pain that you're feeling. Because I'm always searching for the brighter side of life, and maybe one day the thoughts will pay off. But till then, my future self, I'm feeling lost. So he's talking to his future self to remind him of these feelings and thoughts and what he struggled with at this time. Um, do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind. Now we can sort of interpret this a little bit differently. So sometimes when you wake up in the morning and you discover you're still alive, it's like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's questionable sometimes, isn't it? So you try to make it a good thing, but in the beginning, at first, sometimes you think, I wish. Dear future self, why am I unwell? Will I ever find a way to climb right out of this hell? Will I ever find a way to leave my demons? Find a breath that keeps me breathing? Find a hope to keep believing? Find the way out? So I think he's breathing technically, but what he's talking about here is breathing without that stress and without those mental thoughts tormenting him all the time. Because something funny happens when you're always sick, when you wake up every day praying that day might be it, that you might turn a corner into life or into death. So when he first said that day might be it, I was thinking suicide or death actually, but then he says that you might turn a corner, but then he goes back to into life or into death because you hate that state of limbo, because you hate that state of stress. Yeah, that living in constant stress all the time is very painful. It's very hard on the body as well. And many lessons I have learned being burned by the fires of depression as they scorch up my earth. I have learned that I'm stronger than I ever thought I was. Yeah, each time you survive, each time you get through a major downfall, a major depression, or bout of anxiety, panic attack, whatever, um, you recognize, gee, I must be strong because I'm still here and I'm still working and I'm still thinking and I'm still striving. Um, but then on the other hand, you still feel weak because you feel pain. Um, yeah, but I'm a paradox, and that's the paradox that he's talking about. I feel so alone, yet I isolate myself. It's no one's fault. Um, yes, it's paradoxical that you can feel lonely, but you can't stand to be around people sometimes. It's like, how do you solve that paradox, that problem? There's the two sides of yourself. But my own heart is broken because of the friends that I've had to have died. Heart is broken because I've been sick for a third of my life. So of course, we know about Ren's illness and struggles with that, but also with friends that have died, and we know that his friend committed suicide, and he's probably lost other friends. Many people have to drugs, alcohol, other things. So yeah, very bad, or just even natural death is very painful. And we're damaging the planet that we need to survive. My broken heart, it breaks every time I feel the brakes on my brain when it aches. So these constant thoughts about all these issues, friends dying or struggling himself with health and mental struggles, and then the world and the earth and the planet, can it can build up until it's overwhelming. My advice is to narrow that down to anybody. I'm not trying to advise Ren, but to anyone is because I, go through these things myself, and sometimes you just have to stop, block it off, and look at very tiny pieces at a time, one step at a time, and let go of the things you cannot control. I cannot change uh, climate change by myself right now. I do what I can, and then that's what I can do. So you have to try to do that for your own sanity sometimes. And we're damaging the planet that we need to survive. My broken heart, it breaks every time I feel the brakes on my brain when it aches. I think I did read that. Bringing the bruises back to faith, feeding my demons while they wait. As my angels, why forsake? Ask my angels, sorry, why forsake? Have faith, take away this pain in my brain and bring the rain on my soul, control my soul. Future self, could you put me out of this hole? Yeah, one way or another, he's trying to get relief from all of this pain and struggles. Do you believe it's morning? I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind. And again, as I said before, that's because um, do you care if you're alive when you're going through all of these struggles? You do and you don't at the same time. It's a paradox, as Ren says. But sometimes you think, oh, now I got to go again. Now I got to try again. So that can be tough. I'm glad he's trying, and I'm glad he's surviving, and I think he's beginning to thrive as well. And hopefully, with the health issues, if they become resolved at some point, or at least resolved as much as possible, he'll manage. But he's a thinker, and he's a lyricist, and that's great on one hand, but on the other hand, it can be painful as well, because sometimes if you think too much, you can get yourself into mental traps that you can't get out of, or that is very difficult to relieve yourself from anyway. Okay, I could talk and talk and talk about this because these are a lot of the thoughts that many people have, myself included, and there's so much that can be said, but I think I'll leave it because I'm sure there'll be other songs to talk about as well. So that's Ren's Do You Believe? Amazing song, great voices, both of them. I really like Ren, and I really For some reason you just feel attracted to Ren and you want to care for him in a way. And it's kind of silly, but you do. You just want him to be okay and you want him to be well. I guess I feel that about a lot of people, but Ren is something special for sure. Let me know what other songs you'd like to hear from Ren, although we're kind of going through them, so we will get there. But also any other musician or singer that you would like me to react to, just let me know. In the meantime, it's Ron from RJJ's Reactions. Keep listening and keep having fun. Bye bye for now.